It's often said that a successful retirement is the ability to replace income in retirement. I would tend to disagree. If you're only looking at planning for income in retirement, you're likely missing a lot of opportunities and maybe making some costly mistakes. So to be clear, I'm not knocking that making sure you can replace your income in retirement, because I think that's really important. But the issue is focusing only on income and not what types of experiences or things you want that income to do for you. You're likely setting yourself up for an unfulfilling retirement. So today we'll go over 4 strategies to implement now to help set you on the path for a successful retirement. I'm Amber Knips, Wealth Advisor at Sweet Financial in Fairmont and Jackson, Minnesota, and I specialize in working with high net worth individuals who are at or nearing retirement and who want help planning for what's next and life's biggest transitions. We believe everyone has the right to realize that their dreams are possible, and we do that through our holistic approach to saving to make sure you're maximizing your retirement. I did a speaking engagement once with a really similar presentation, and someone came up to me afterwards and he said he's been using all his pre-tax funds so that he doesn't have to pay any taxes. And I was like, well, that's great. Have you been doing any Roth conversions and some tax planning? And he's like, nope, I don't have any income and I've just been enjoying not paying any taxes. So I explained that, well, in retirement, things are going to come eventually, to fruition, and he's going to potentially have to pay some hefty taxes. So considering all the possibilities doesn't mean saving all of the things till the end. It means creating a detailed strategy on how to pay the least amount of tax over time. And I've never had anyone say, oh, I've saved way too much for retirement. But I've had a lot of people say, oh, I wish I would have known, or I wish I would have done things a little bit differently. So what I want to do is get in front of as many people as possible so that instead it's changing the conversation to, I'm so glad I knew. And what today we'll do is focus on those 4 key things to focus on. So number 1, what are you retiring to? So oftentimes when I sit down with people, they have a big, strong list of what they're retiring from, but they don't have a clear picture on what they're retiring to. Oftentimes it's, I'm just looking forward to not having to get up every day at a certain time, go through traffic, instead just being able to slow down. And that's great. And that works out well, but oftentimes a couple weeks goes by and then they're like, gosh, I'm bored. Or man, I find myself watching the news and I really get sucked in. And that's not what you want to be doing. And that's not what's important, is instead focusing on what you're going to do with your time now that you have the ability to choose. For so long, someone dictated your schedule and what that looked like. So what's important to you to fill your time? Whether that's doing some volunteering or spending extra time maybe with kids and grandkids, but having that focus of what you want to accomplish so that you keep yourself fresh and you keep yourself excited about retirement and going through the days. So focusing on really what you're retiring to. And if you don't know, we have a lot of really great resources to help go down that path. And what we also do as a firm is with the planning, we're helping run those what ifs of saying, you've never thought about it because you didn't know maybe what you could accomplish or what your money could do for you. So helping push the limits a little bit and say, well, what if you did this? How would that make you feel? And that's a really fun process. So thinking about that now before you retire helps really continue that conversation. And 2, thinking about a withdrawal strategy. So thinking about where's that money going to come from in retirement. So not like that person I had met who's like not paying any taxes. That's typically not the best strategy. Is it's figuring out a little bit from each account so that you can be the most tax efficient. And successful retirees, they're not letting the market dictate their happiness. Markets are going to be volatile. We're going to see market downturns at some point, and it's nothing that you can control. But what you can control is the strategy you put in place and how you've saved your funds. So saving in types of investments that all react differently to the markets, so that when things happen, you don't have to say no to those things you've determined are important to you. Instead, you know you have different pockets of investments and types of funds that you can access. So you can continue existing, carrying on like normal, regardless of what the news is telling you or regardless of what the markets are doing. So think of it like someone is calling and giving you a price in the markets and you can say, no, thanks. I don't like that price. I'm going to choose something else for now. So that's a really important strategy and important to continue to review every year because it changes as you go through different parts of retirement. So that leads into a tax strategy, and taxes are something that really gets to be kind of underestimated. It's not about what you make in retirement, it's about what you keep. And those are potentially two really different things. So focusing on where's tax brackets, where do you think they're going? I tend to maybe be a little pessimistic that I think from a long-term perspective, we're going to see some changes. So thinking about, is there anything I should do differently now so that you're set for later as well and have some of that flexibility. So, in looking at retirement, not just focusing on taking from the bank account money first, but figuring out where are expenses now, where are they trending to be, and what's the best different places to take those from, and having an advisor who works closely with you and your CPA to figure out those strategies is really important. And 4, just continuing to review your plan and your withdrawal strategy through the seasons of retirement. So just like the weather, especially in Minnesota, seasons change. Some are a little bit better than the others, but every piece of retirement offers something a little bit different. And they all have a really important way to plan for those. So having that relationship with a trusted advisor to help you through all of those different seasons is really important versus it's kind of not like a crock pot. You don't set it and forget it. You can set it for a little while, but making sure you're continuously checking on it is really important. Because we believe everyone has the right to realize that their dreams are possible. And we want to help find out what's important to you with your newfound freedom and really starting that process of thinking about what's next and gaining clarity on what's most important to you. And we have a really great toolkit that helps you walk through that. It's called the Retirement Readiness Center, and you can access that at mysweetfinancial.com. So I would strongly recommend going through that, especially if you're at or nearing retirement and kind of wondering, well, now what? That's a really great first step. And if you found this helpful, you can check out another one of my videos, The Biggest Mistakes in Retirement.